Clarendon man attacked, killed while taking 7-year-old son home. Clarendon, Jamaica, a man was attacked, chopped, and shot to death while bringing his 7-year-old son home from a wake at McDonald District in Crooked River, Clarendon, on Thursday night. The deceased has been identified as 38-year-old Fitzroy Ricketts, otherwise called Chewy, a farmer from the district. It was reported that around 9:40 p.m. Ricketts and his 7-year-old son were at a wake in the community. The son felt sleepy during the event and requested to be taken home. Police said Ricketts and the child went home, but upon pulling his gate, the father was accosted by several men who opened gunfire at him. He ran into his yard and was chased into the bushes, where he was killed. The child ran back to the wake and made an alarm. Residents notified the police, who, with the help of several community members, searched the muddy terrain and found Ricketts' body in bushes about 150 meters from his dwelling, in the dense vegetation. He was found suffering from chop wounds to the neck and what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the head. He was clad in blue jeans trousers, a gray sweater-type shirt, and a black and white pair of Adidas sneakers. The body was taken to the Maypen Hospital, confirmed dead, and later removed to the morgue. Man charged for murder of 2 homeless people suspected in 3 other killings and abduction. St. James, Jamaica, a man has been charged for the murder of 2 homeless people in St. James, and the police have indicated that more charges are likely Friday in connection with the deaths of 3 others. He is also expected to be charged in connection with an attack on a woman who had to be rescued by police accompanying a ministerial tour. According to a high-ranking police officer, Ronaldo Ricketts was on Thursday charged for the murder of Mark Thompson following a question-and-answer session in the presence of his lawyer. Thompson was killed around 11:44 p.m. on August 19, 2023, and his body was found on Street Claver Avenue in Montego Bay. Also on Thursday, Ricketts was charged with the murder of another man who was killed on Barnett Street in the Western City. That man remains unidentified. Meanwhile, the police are trying to determine the identity of 3 other homeless men in whose murders Ricketts is a suspect. In a September 1st interview with the Jamaica Constabulary Force's Corporate Communications Unit, Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson said forensic evidence and technological capabilities had linked a suspect to the killings of 5 homeless men in Street James, and charges were likely soon. Ricketts is also expected to be charged today in connection with the August 30th forceful abduction and attempted rape of a woman. It was during that incident that he was nabbed by the police, who were escorting a ministerial tour of sections of St. James. The cops stopped to help a screaming woman. The incident occurred on Melvin Hall Avenue in Montego Bay. The police were nearby, at Jarrett Park, when they heard the woman's screams. According to the police, she had managed to escape from the car of a man holding her at knife point and attempting to rape her. The police responded to the woman's screams and took the man into custody even as he proclaimed his innocence. The woman was whisked away by cops. The incident temporarily put a tour by Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie on hold. 2 women were extradited from Jamaica to the United States on Thursday following their apprehension during joint special operations in St. James in July. The police report the first operation targeted 36-year-old Sarika Goodison, a customer service representative of Paradise Acres and Norwood Meadows in the parish, on Thursday, July 6. Goodison is wanted in America for mail fraud, wire fraud and lottery scamming activities. Following her arrest, investigations led to another operation on Tortuga Crescent, Greenwood in the parish on Friday, July 21, in which 39-year-old Iana Reynolds was arrested. Reynolds is wanted in the United States for murder and other serious offenses. The operations were carried out by members of the Jamaica Fugitive Apprehension Team, Lottery Scam Task Force, Area 1 Operational Support Team, and counterparts from the United States. Todd's boss wants government to double bus and taxi fares. All Voice warned such a hike could kill the public transport sector. The head of one of the island's largest transportation groups says his members are anticipating an increase close to 120%, noting that anything under 60% would be unacceptable. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz on Wednesday advised public commuters to brace for an increase. The minister indicated that he has received a report from the Public Passenger Vehicles Steering Committee, which was asked to spearhead the proposal to fine-tune fare adjustments for the transport sector. The report is expected to be reviewed and taken before the cabinet shortly. Bus and taxi fares were last increased in 2021. At that time, the Transport Authority announced a 15% hike. Since then, public transport operators have been clamoring for another increase, arguing that their cost of operating has risen astronomically. But the president of the Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services, POTS, Edgerton Newman, says that while various proposals have been put forward, the increase must be far better than 15%. We sat down 4 months ago and asked for a 120% increase, and a person said we could not get that, and we expect not to get a 120%, but we expect something very, very close, he said. According to him, the amount proposed was based on the increases in the members' operational costs. Final decision. Newman, however, noted that while commuters will also have their own expectations, ultimately, it is the steering committee that will consider the different figures and arrive at a final rate. From a TOTS perspective, anything under 60% would not be workable for us, but let's see what is coming, he said. Newman has also welcomed the changes that will accompany the rate increase. Noting that the last substantial increase was granted 9 years ago, he said that going forward, the plan is to have the fare adjustment annually or biannually based on different factors. While TOTS wants taxi fares to double, the All Voice Transportation Group believes that anything close to 100% would be suicidal, as taxi operators would be pricing themselves out of business. For my particular group, we have been asking for between 37.5 and 42.5%, the group's communication director Lorraine Finnekin said. He explained that operators are hoping for the fares on the majority of the corporate area routes to move to $200, hence the reason for the two different proposals. Finnekin said the lower proposal is there in the event that the increase is being considered on the current legal rate, which is $138, while the other is for consideration at the current market rate $150. What we would have considered to be reasonable and a comfortable rate increase in the public transport sector would be about 78 to 80%, he told the Gleaner. But we look at what could keep the investor above board and still make a small profit while still considering the commuters, which the commuting public that we have now are not persons that can easily manage charter service and are made up mostly of minimum wage earners for whom the rate would not be realistic, Finnekin added.